Now recognize the chair of the Border Security and Enforcement Subcommittee, who has been integral in helping put this bill together, Clay Higgins from Louisiana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Reflected upon the statements of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle thus far today, I can see we're in for a long day. And although it will be exhausting, it will be good for America to witness the bold contrast of perspective regarding border security, the sovereignty of our nation, immigration, etc. This bill is the culmination of, for some of us, years of observation and study, countless trips to the border, endless hours and hours of conversations with law enforcement professionals that live and work on the border. My own perspective is very clear regarding whether or not one of my colleagues said the bill's un-American. May I say it's very American to secure our sovereignty. And any reasonable man can observe the southern border and see that our sovereignty has been disintegrated over the last couple of years. So we're just calmly and judiciously responding to the threat. And that is also quite American, whether it's at your home or your business or your community, your state or your nation. You respond to threat. We have arterial bleed at the border. Goodness gracious. This is a border security bill. Every American should support it. Regarding immigration, America has the most generous and compassionate immigration system of any wealthy nation in the free world. We want men and women of every color and creed and cultural background to come to America legally. And we have a serious problem at our southern border, not because of the men and women that work the border, not because we haven't had some drastic change in infrastructure. We have the same 1,954 miles of border now that we did in 2019 and 2020. What has changed is the policies out of the executive administration. So this bill is essentially written based upon the best advice and deep research of law enforcement professionals. And that's what bothers some of my colleagues. It's a bill written by cops, not by attorneys. It provides actual security enhancement for our people that work the border, technology that's required for security on the border, and physical infrastructure, like physical barriers. I appreciate the work that's been done. And to say that my colleagues across the aisle have not been engaged in these topics, I've sat on this committee for 6 years. There's been deep, deep engagement from both parties here. This is law enforcement strong language. If you support the security of your nation and the sovereignty of our country, then you should support this bill. And I close by saying that physical barriers work, or you wouldn't have them around your own house, would you? And anyone that thinks it's easy to climb a 30-foot wall with a 40-foot ladder has never climbed a 30-foot wall with a 40-foot ladder. It's quite a task. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the deep work that's been done on this bill. I urge support, and I yield.